Hello and welcome everyone to Dungeons and Dragons. If you've never been in a dungeon or a dragon, all you need to know is that you need a lot of courage. Thankfully today I have 4 friends with me who are very courageous. We have the fearsome
Marche.
We have the fearless
Emma.
We
Gina.
we have the fantastic
Aris, I'm fantastic.
You are.
and he once got scared by a butterfly. It's oh no! Ross's microphone is not working.
It's because he's scared.
Rogan Morbash. There you go.
Nice.
Try again. It was me muting myself for no apparent reason.
Well, there you
Just
go.
to add tension, to add a sense
Just
of
to add a
expectation.
little bit of atmosphere.
Mystique,
the
surprise, yeah. All of you.
I just want to say that I heard that somebody was impersonating me in an adventure, so I thought I would turn up myself this week.
I am scared to have you here, Marche.
Pleasure to be here.
I
Gonna
hope
be good.
I hope you're all having a fantastic week, and I hope you're looking forward to tonight's adventure. I certainly am. With that in mind, let's have a look at what happened previously on Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Today, I'd like to remind you of 2 things. First, in their adventures in Waterdeep, the companions discovered the existence of an artifact called the Stone of Galore, which hides the secret location of Lord Dagald Neverember's stash of dragons, aka Waterdavian money. In other entirely unrelated news, the companions opened up their own tavern, Morbash Manor, successfully hosting an opening night which didn't have a single episode of any kind of ghost haunting. After dodging guests they didn't like and spending the last moments of the party with close friends, they went to bed to wake up to a beautiful morning with chocolate croissants and cups of coffee to nurse the hangover. This serene and idyllic moment didn't last long, as the streets of Trollskull Alley erupted with an explosive blast.
It was terrifying.
Let me,
terrifying.
to fully recap, continue with the last thing that I said in last week's episode. Windows rattle as the roar of an explosion fills Trollskull Alley. Charred bodies and anguished screams fly through the air. A thick cloud of acrid smoke billows outward from the blast, which seems to have occurred right outside your door. There's panic, pandemonium. There's a still drunken potentially, or a very hungover Volo who doesn't quite understand
He's always drunk.
what's going on, and you didn't realize that he was sleeping under one of the tables.
Dear.
But he was, and he wakes up and yells, "Stop that loud shouting!" Once he comes to and looks out the window and realizes what happened, he's just as shocked and aghast as you are. And I guess what do you do is the question of the day.
Is it easy to tell exactly, like we heard this, obviously, so this was incredibly loud. Can we see exactly where it happened? Because as I understand, our neighborhood's like kind of quite dense.
Yes, so it happened genuinely right outside your building, not right next to your building, but just off to the side of your building. And it was quite a busy morning. There were people about, and there were children playing. Now no one's playing, and it all. What do you do? Go outside, or do you just peer out the windows?
I think probably Aris immediately opens a window and because my first thought is, did it like happen in the street or in a building?
So you can see that it happened in the street, and you can see that none of the buildings are really damaged in a significant way. Nothing's on fire, but there has been a big explosion right next to your building, and there's debris everywhere, and the building is charred, and there are dead bodies on the floor.
I think Rogan, when the blast went off, he would be going from room to room to check everyone was okay, to see if everyone
very
was
thoughtful.
doing all right, and then once confirming everyone was all right, would be like, I'm gonna go out and see if anyone saw anything on the streets. That would be like his inclination. Would be like, are we okay? Now we'll go out into the street. Let's see what's happening.
You're happy to know that at least inside your tavern, remains completely undamaged and everyone is okay. No one got, hit by a falling wardrobe or anything like that.
Oh, there was a falling wardrobe.
No, there wasn't.
Oh.
It doesn't seem to be a sign of one at the moment.
Yeah, at least not right now. Yeah, no wardrobe.
Let's focus on
falling
the
right now.
explosion over possible falling wardrobes.
Well, it's important. You might have had something precious in it, like my clothes.
Rogan,
Your potions.
Although indeed the potions.
Rogan, as you exit the building, as you exit the tavern, you realize that you are not the only one. Your neighbors, some familiar and some not, are all leaving their abodes, and everyone's equally shocked, and they don't know quite what to do. A few people rush over to the bodies to see if there's anyone that still needs help, but it's very clearly evident that whoever was in the explosion pretty much met their fate. And
Are there emergency services?
well,
on the
not
scene?
as of yet.
Not as of yet.
It's
right.
just happened.
Right.
So people are still sort of leaving their buildings and hello, dog. People are leaving
Here's
their
emergency
buildings.
services, everyone. Emergency
Yes.
services has
The
arrived.
emergency services are here to lend the fire out. Oh, hello. Hello.
So I've gone outside. Has anyone else joined me as I've gone out? I came to check on you all, and I would have told you what I was going to do. Does anyone?
I think
anyone
Aris would have
joined
rushed
me?
downstairs, sort of thrown his boots on and rushed downstairs as well.
Gina was outside.
Yes.
Soon.
So,
Yeah.
like I mentioned, you're not the only ones. There are some familiar faces gathering together, and there are again some unfamiliar faces. But currently, people don't really quite know what to do yet. Everyone's just sort of standing aghast and waiting for anyone else to do anything else.
I guess, like, collectively, I would look around us and be like, "Should we see if anyone saw anything, or maybe see if anyone needs any help?"
I suppose so. Like, my first inclination is to immediately see who is alive and who isn't.
Yes, somebody might need healing.
So,
Yeah.
do you want to examine the?
Bessie's examining.
Yeah.
Bessie
She's just
is,
concerned.
Examining the
who wouldn't
inside
be?
of your mouth.
Yes. Hello,
She's heard there's been an explosion. She needs to make
Bessie.
sure everyone's okay.
Bessie. We are running a show, and you are interrupting right now.
She doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, no.
She doesn't care.
Yeah.
No, she loves you. She loves you.
A dog cannot be stopped from getting what they want. So yeah, are you going to examine the actual event, as it were, the location where the explosion happened? Or?
Yes, I would like to find where the explosion came from.
Right.
Maybe we could do both. Maybe like two of us could go check out the explosion, and maybe two of us could make sure people were okay. I don't mind. Rogan, I suppose, wouldn't mind which he did, but it's he would agree that like we should see if everyone needs any help and see if like where the explosion came from at least.
Well,
So we've got
Rogan,
an idea.
you're quite strong, so perhaps you could help search through wreckage to see if there's anyone alive, and if there is, then you could help lift the wreckage off of them.
Of course, yeah. No, I'll
Oh,
see if anyone needs
super.
any assistance.
Yes.
I feel like that's something Aris might be doing as well, as trying to help people back to their feet, or seeing who is concussed and whatnot.
Okay, and who's going to be talking to other people then, to other residents?
Well, I guess that's part of it, seeing if anyone needs any help.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
Speaking to them and then the direct as to where we need help. Gina, what would you want to be doing in that?
Not playing a song, at least. That's the worst idea
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah,
Bad timing.
yeah.
The
I
best songs
think-
come from tragedy.
Nah,
Well,
not this opportunity. I think the best thing is to go and look for. I think Gina was gonna look for where the explosion came from.
Yes.
So
Okay.
maybe Marche and Gina could, do that. That would be cool.
Okay, so then who is anyone specifically examining the scene in particular?
That's
this-
what Gina wants to do.
Yeah, you want to be at where the explosion happened, right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So, when you approach the area of the blast, you can tell that. Well, first of all, there's a total of 11 bodies.
Oh.
So quite a lot, and there seems to be a whole array of different people that have been charred and caught in the blast. There's some children. You think 5 at first, but there one actually isn't a child. They seem to be a gnome. There's a couple of humans and a couple of just adult-sized people of different races. And do you want to examine their bodies, or which might be a little bit weird in the middle of the street, or what do you want to do?
Where the blast originated from.
Right. Okay. Well, could you give me either an investigation check or an Arcana check?
I will do an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
That's natural 20.
Wow. Okay. So you are able to determine from the way that the impact has caused damage, right? You're sort of observing the debris and the outline of the blast and the soot and everything, and you're able to tell that you don't know what caused this, but you know that it came from upwards rather than
Something fell.
so. Well, there's no sign of what caused the explosion, right? There's no device or anything like that, like the remains, or at least you don't seem to be able to find anything. But it feels like it originated from a direction that came from above and in a diagonal pattern.
Can I look at diagonal patterns around the side?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So give me a perception check.
Ooh, let's see. That's a 19.
That's pretty good. So
pretty good start today.
Yeah.
Let's not jinx all the other rolls.
Gina, if after all of this, maybe she could open her own PI, kind of like private investigator business. I think like Gina investigates. That could be something.
Yeah.
Could be something worth looking into.
So one of the things you're able to determine is that the angle leads directly onto one of the house's rooftops, right? And it doesn't seem that it's a rooftop that the resident of that house would have been able to access easily, right? So whoever caused this or whatever caused this might have been perched on a rooftop, right? But as you're sort of observing the scene, you notice also a child staring in the same direction as you are, right? Like a dazed and confused child is sort of just looking like that.
Gina really wants to walk up to the child and speak to them in a very calming voice. Like, are you okay? Are you hurt? Did you see what happened?
The child seems to be in a state of shock. And he says, as he continues staring in that direction, he says, I was just playing with my friends. We were having a dance. They were playing a song, and then suddenly, a loud boom. after the explosion, I ducked behind a rain barrel, and then I heard a plop, and I went to see what it was, and he takes out this sort of necklace from his pocket, and he hands it to you, and I found this. And he's sort of just really confused, and he's just holding it in his hand.
Can I do some sort of an arcana check on that before I take it from his hand?
You can, yes.
Let's grab a d20, not a d other. Oof. 3.
Okay, it's a necklace. It has 2 beads in it and a broken clasp.
I will take it and just investigate it closer.
That's as much as you can tell
Okay.
about the necklace right now.
Thank you so much. Are your parents close? Can we walk you back so you get home safely, or
He just
do you
points
need a
at,
hug?
he just
or
points at one of the buildings and says, "I live right there."
shall I walk you to your house?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will take him by the hand and then just walk him to his house.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing?
There's about 11 bodies, you say, scattered around. How many people are there who are sort of injured but alive?
None.
So it's very sort of all or nothing. Either someone was blown
Sorry,
up or
one more thing. Gina, you rolled a crit, right?
For the impacts blasts. Thing.
Whilst you were investigating. You noticed also some footprints, sooty footprints that sort of lead away from the blast, and then they go faint and disappear.
I will take mental note and go there after I deliver the kids back home.
So obviously, there's not really anyone who isn't dead that's injured, but I think what Rogan would want to do is speak to people to see if anyone on the street saw anything, and kind of go from person to person, be like, like just basically say like, "Oh yeah, we're just here making sure everyone's all right and just trying to find out what happened. I don't suppose you saw anything." And I suppose they'd kind of be going from like person to person, kind of doing that, just seeing if anything is kind of revealed, if anyone was out on the street when it happened.
So you talk to a couple of people, and most of them just recount the same story that you've experienced. But one of them, Fala, who you'll remember is the herbalist, she says, "I was watering plants in the greenhouse on the second floor of my shop when the blast blew out some of the windows. Lucky I wasn't injured, but through the smoke, I saw a cloaked man take something from the body of a dead gnome, then start limping away. He was badly burned and casting glances over his shoulders, like he was afraid someone might be following him. I think he was headed toward the bent nail, although my suspicion is that he absconded somewhere afterwards."
Perhaps we should ask someone in the bent nail if they've
At
seen
this
anything.
moment, the City Watch arrives. There is a whole host of City Watch guards, constables, who start cordoning off the area, and something whooshes above you, and as you look up, you see one of the fabled Waterdavian Griffin Riders, who are basically a part of the City Watch that maintain the peace via the help of griffins that they ride, as you do.
Pretty
And
badass.
of course.
yes, and there are 2 people that immediately stand out. One an elderly man that is quite disheveled and sort of dressed in a very lackadaisical fashion, but he has a little booklet that he's holding, and he seems to be taking notes as he's observing everything. And the other...
Is he called Columbo?
I mean, you don't know his name. They haven't really... They haven't really introduced themselves yet. The other is, you can't tell if he's a maybe a dwarf or a very rounded gnome, or maybe just a very short man, somewhere in between. But he's wearing a purple robe, green tinted glasses, and he has blonde hair. His mustache is glorious. And he's walking with a big wooden cane. And they seem to be the two people in charge of the city watch. And they stand in the middle of the area of the explosion and say, and the shorter one says, "Citizens of Troll Skull Alley, we are here to investigate and find out what happened. We ask that you all remain calm. We have posted constables all across the alley at all the exits. We ask that you do not leave the area, nor do you bring anyone into the area whilst we do the investigation. Please do not tamper with the evidence, and if you were so kind, we would now like you to disperse. Please return to your homes and await further instructions."
Excuse me. Speaking of people leaving the area, this person just said that this other person went off in that direction after the explosion. So I think probably someone's already left this area.
The other man is making notes. "Thank you very much. We will now do the investigation. If you could please return to your homes. If you have any information that is relevant, we will come round later during the day and do interviews. Please divulge anything you found then."
So
Where's Gina right now?
Yeah.
Did she already bring the kid back, or?
Yeah, you've by then deposited the kid to his parents.
Yeah, then I just suggest to the others maybe let's just head inside and regroup.
I think based on what Aris and Rogan got told about someone heading towards the bent nail, that Rogan would really want to kind of just go investigate that. Immediately, and say like that, we'll pretend that's our home and like head towards the bent nail to follow up on it.
Is that in
I am
our
okay
area?
with that idea.
It's just like it's on our street.
Is it on our street?
Yeah.
Then
Bent
sure.
Nail is Tally's place? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Tally's place.
It's like across the road or something.
Yeah, it's just across the road. It's right next to you.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's Tally's place. And if you would like to do that, could you please give me a stealth check?
Ooh, all of us? Each of us?
I mean,
No, just the two of you that are doing that.
Well, Marche, are we joining the others?
Well, I mean, there's nothing to do here, is there? I think we've done everything here that we can. I think we're just in the way of the... Actually, what I would like to do is perhaps lag behind a little and just watch them doing the investigation.
Okay.
Or return to the manor and watch from the window.
Okay, you can definitely return to the manor and watch through the window.
I would like to watch out of the window and see how well they are investigating.
In regards to the stealth, like Rogan wasn't intending to try and sneak there. He was intending to just walk there like he was going home because the city guard.
No, I know.
Would okay.
I know.
Well, then I think Gina will join Marche to make
Okay.
sure Nothing
Silver.
crow related happens.
Indeed.
I got 11 anyway on my stuff.
That's nice. I'm trying. What I'm trying to do is determine your nonchalantness as
Sure. How good am I
at nonchalant.
at blending my way there? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, no. Rogan looks a little awkward. He's not the world's most natural liar.
No.
No.
And he is he looks. I think if this was the usual crowd, then maybe he would have, sort of bluffed his way into Tally's shop and just, I'm just going, to where I work. But the investigation team from the City Watch seems to be quite on the ball. They actually.
So can I nod to Aris, like they've seen me, but I'm now going to try and distract them, so Aris can go check it out. Like I'll be like,
Great idea.
they've clocked me, and I'm gonna go over and I'll be like, oh hello, like and try and talk, like do a Rogan, a classic episode 1 to 3 Rogan, where I'm like, yeah, excuse me, I was wondering exactly what was going on here.
Yeah.
Right,
I run Morbash Manor, and I the kind of crime rates and the things that have been going on in this area since I opened a business has got me really concerned. What's the City Watch doing about this?
Citizen Rogue.
The shorter person out of the 2 lead investigators says, "You run this tavern, yes?"
Oh no.
Yes, this is my establishment.
Good, okay. I ask you please return to the tavern and we will come and interview you later.
Can you? And I'll be kind of like moving around them to try and draw their attention away from where Aris is.
Okay.
Kind of like I'm now on like the opposite side to the side that Aris is on. So they're facing me, and Aris is like behind where they would be. So
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sure.
It's cool. One thing I'd like to know is
Yes.
that you still failed that stealth roll, and you still seem suspicious to them.
I'm trying deception now. Deception.
Yeah.
So can I roll for deception?
Okay, you can roll for deception, but you have disadvantage on that.
Okay, fine. Okay, well I got 3 on my second roll, so that's really not gone well for me.
No. So you're currently upsetting the City Watch pretty much, and there's
all right.
there's this sort of moment where you realize that you say one more word and they're literally gonna come and arrest you, right? Because you're starting to look really, really suspicious. And just at the last moment, you gather enough common sense to go, I need to stop what I'm doing right now, right? But
Rogan's nothing if not full of common sense, so that sounds about right.
yeah.
But either way, it was an intentional ruse. So if he sees it's not working, he'll go, okay, well I'll await further information. You come and see me at Morbash Manor when you've got a full report.
Wow. that does sound like Rogan.
That's right.
Aris, what are you doing?
Well, hopefully, with that maneuvering that Rogan is doing, there is a way for Aris in the background, slightly out of focus, slightly out of shot, to slip down an alleyway or slip behind something, and Scooby-Doo Skull just tiptoe away.
There is. So, but I will be honest with you, Aris. Rogan's distraction wasn't so much a distraction and more of a causing of alertness.
But it's brought more attention to the scene, you could say.
Yes, it has, because everyone's suddenly a little bit on edge. So you do have an opportunity to skulk away, but once again, that will be with disadvantage.
We got this, Aris.
Good luck.
First roll is a 9. The second roll is an 11. So 9 with... fortunately, my stealth is good. My stealth is 7. So 9 plus 7 is 16. That's pretty sneaky, right?
That's pretty sneaky.
That is, I would say, just about sneaky enough. You feel like, a 1 second and a wrong step, and you would have been seen. But you managed to sneak into an alley, or at least you were hoping to sneak into an alley. But since your direction was the bent nail, you realize that actually there's this City Watch guard, and he's just bent over to pick something up, but he's gonna get up at any moment. And if he gets up and you go into that alley, he's going to spot you. So you just bolt directly for the bent nail, and like, phew, okay, no one spotted me. I'm inside. At which point you see a very confused Tally going, "Hello,
Hi. How you doing?
not very good because, as you can tell, explosion outside."
Yeah, I've got to agree with you there. Like most of the time when there's an explosion, anyone's having a bad day. I can count the amount of people who've had a good day with an explosion on like the fingers of a post-explosion hand. Look, did you see someone come in here fitting this description a few moments ago, perhaps?
I saw someone hobbling. They were,
Hobbling?
yes, they were. They did not come in. They went past that alley just to the back of my house, and they were running away. They looked very, very injured, and they were going northeast somewhere. I'm not quite sure
Thank you.
where. They looked like they had a black hood. Looked a bit like you, actually, but less handsome.
Wow. Well, on that note, I've got to go. I'm actually late for my pedicure, but thanks. Thanks. I'll see you soon. Good luck with the explosion. I'm sorry about the explosion. Good luck recovering. Good luck with dealing with a difficult post-explosion morning.
Thank you, I suppose.
I hope we can bounce back, all of us as a community. I mean, bounce metaphor. I don't actually want to. There's probably been too much stuff bouncing around right now, and that's caused injury. It's probably one of the main
Please stop.
results of an
Please
explosion.
stop now.
is-
It probably popped the bouncy castle, even.
Oh my god!
Was it still up?
Yes, it
Did we
was.
leave it up during the night?
You
Oh,
did,
no.
yeah. But it's in the back, so you don't really know. You haven't checked on the bouncy count.
It's going to look sad and deflated.
Yes.
Well, that probably true, because as all bouncy castles do, they eventually just,
Look morose.
Yep.
Okay, I want to dash off in that direction.
In the bouncy castle direction, or
Sorry, in the direction that they pointed or that they described. Looking for someone so dressed in a dark hood.
fantastic. Very, very quickly, you run directly into the city watch, which basically tell you to go back home and do not try and leave the area. There are probably at least 24 constables here, like completely surrounding the area. You would have to do something miraculous to try and get out.
I guess it doesn't hurt to go back and report what I just heard to everyone else.
I guess that Gina and Marche have seen the explosion, had a look at that, but Rogan doesn't know anything about that. And Aris has gone and investigated that, but Rogan doesn't know anything about that. So maybe we could all get together and, like, Rogan, while Aris has gone, would be like to Gina and Marche, like, what happened? Did you find anything out? To either of you.
Well, I wanted to let Gina tell this herself, but
Sorry. One thing, actually, before we continue with what all of you found out, you have been watching the investigation through the window, right? And whilst you haven't spotted anything, groundbreaking or revelatory, but you can tell that the two people who are in charge of the investigation, one of them is definitely a magician, right? And that's the shorter one with the purple robe and the cane and the glasses.
that makes sense. Yes.
And because you can tell that the way he's investigating the scene is by casting various spells, which you don't quite understand because you're an alchemist and less of a magician and more of a,
And he doesn't have any potions, so how's he doing this?
well, who knows?
It's
Who knows?
magic.
But
Magic. It probably is magic, actually, isn't it?
I would hazard the guess, yes.
Yes.
Hello, dog.
This dog.
That's also magic. Dog magic.
Yep. The dog is incredibly demanding of attention today. But yeah, that's.
I think she needs a wee.
I maybe she's fine. I think she's fine. I think she just wants attention.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, you haven't spotted anything, like I said, groundbreaking or
Yes,
fantastic,
yes.
but that's.
Were they doing their jobs adequately?
They seem to be. They seem to be quite involved in the investigation,
I
and they're
see.
examining a lot of the details and
Yes.
gathering a lot of evidence and sniffing things and casting.
Sniffing things.
Like residue and powders and casting spells on it,
I
and
see.
generally being very thorough and very just involved in the entire process.
That's more than they normally do. They're clearly very interested in this. They're normally fairly slapdash. I've seen them many times.
Okay, what have the rest of you discovered? You can share this information.
Don't tell them I said that, by the way. Otherwise,
No,
I
but I
shall
think
end up
we all share that same
the
sentiment that the level of policing is variable.
Yes. Yes, I was about to tell Eris and Rogan that, and Gina, do please interrupt because I think it's your story to tell that you were given.
I've not told you anything yet. I have not told
I
you
was
anything
there.
yet,
I was
Marche.
watching you.
Were you?
Yes, I was. I was there. I just didn't know how. I'm not so good with the seeing the people and the speaking to the people, and you're very good at that. So I just left you to it.
Where are you? I have not told you anything.
I was there. I went with you, but you ran off.
Shall we
to
just
go see
discover
the
what
little
happened
child.
at the location?
I wanted to keep the necklace secret. No, just
Oh.
kidding. No, that was I don't care.
Apologies. The cat is, as they say,
necklace is out of the bag.
out of the barrel. Yes.
Gina, if you want to keep the jewelry for yourself, you can. It's fine.
No, it's fine. No, I was just joking around. Come on. This kid that was standing in shock, I was making sure he was feeling fine.
She was lovely.
And he was looking in the direction of where I assume the blast originated from, which seemed to be on the roof of a house, where not everyone could access that fairly easily. So I think it's going to be someone that's very good with climbing roofs. And he heard a plop, like a plop, and then he gave me the necklace.
A plop?
Yeah, he didn't explain the plop. I didn't ask. That was stupid of me. But the kid was in shock, and I didn't want to over ask. So I brought him home,
course.
and I know where he lives, so we can always go back if we need to.
Interesting.
Fetch the kid. No, just
Yes. We could ask him more, but he probably wants a bit of a rest.
yeah. That's why I brought him
Probably
home.
glad to be home.
No.
The dog is being naughty.
I need to.
Apologies.
I absolutely need to go sort out the dog because
Chuck her outside.
chuck her outside. That would be mean. I'll be
no,
right
but
back.
I think she might need a wee or something.
Okay.
I guess then maybe we could talk to that child later. But
Yes.
what
indeed.
what about you, Iris? You managed to sneak away. What did you see?
I don't want to just pin the blame on the first kind of suspicious-looking person that we get a description of, but there's a kind of a suspicious-looking person who was described as leaving the scene in a hurry, injured. And I would imagine anyone else, yes, and anyone else injured by this explosion would be more likely to wait around for help.
Is this the person that was on the rooftop, or was this someone that was in the explosion itself?
It sounds like they were in or nearby the explosion itself.
But not close enough to get hurt properly.
Right, which makes me wonder...
Protected.
Were they
Yes.
protected? Were they involved? I don't know. But they, I have this description, and they went in this... Well, they went in this direction, but at this point, of course, they could be anywhere in a city this big.
Is that the same direction as where I saw the footprints go?
Yes.
I saw some footprints going that way, so it could be someone that indeed survived the blast and then went off, scared.
So was this an assassination attempt on whoever was in that building? Do we know whose building it was? Like, do we know who that property
It
belonged
was a
to?
street.
The property
just the
seems,
street?
yeah, it was just the street. The property seems to be mostly undamaged where the explosion happened. Like it's near the property, but the building didn't suffer any real, like, just some collateral damage, but no real damage.
So basically, someone got exploded in the street.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
And this. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, Gina, this necklace. Does it seem to have any like arcane property of any kind to keep someone protected?
For me, it looks like a normal necklace, but if you want to look at it here, and I give it to Rogan.
Rogan doesn't know anything about. Rogan would be like, show it to the Does anyone else know anything about this? Rogan's not particularly good on the.
Does it look particularly unusual or have any sign or symbol or something?
Well, it looks like it is. It has, first of all, a broken clasp, and it looks like, upon closer examination, so it has 2 beads, but it also has a space for a third bead that doesn't seem to be there.
I see. What color's the beads?
Deep red.
Oh, rubies. Perhaps. Or plastic. Red. Tat. Who knows?
Marche, do you want to investigate the necklace, or?
I'm not sure I can. I don't
Have a
seem to
go.
have that
Do it.
option.
My gut says it's something, but I can't now because I
Yes,
failed.
sure. I will do an investigation check.
You can also do an Arcana check, or if you suspect that it's magical.
But it doesn't look very magical to me. It looks like a piece of cheap rubbish, actually.
It just as an FYI, it does not look cheap or rubbish.
Yes, it does.
It does look magical.
I mean, when you're me and you've seen the fineries of the world, then you can tell what is cheap rubbish and what's not cheap rubbish.
Marche, who are you talking to?
Rogan's seen some fineries, and he'd be like, "No, it actually looks quite nice."
13.
13. Okay,
Yes.
you can tell that it's definitely magical.
No, dash. Dash, I was wrong. Maybe it is better than I thought it was. My eye's not so good anymore.
You can also tell that it has within it a couple of charges of a spell called Fireball in it.
Ooh.
Oh, I know what that is.
2 charges.
Yes.
Well, this is looking a bit more
Right,
like a
right.
weapon.
Oh, I've got it.
Yes.
So
yes.
the bead fell out and exploded.
Did it fall out
Is-
or did it get thrown from the roof?
Sure. Fine. I don't got it.
Close enough, though.
To cast this fireball, would you use the beads, or would you be wearing the necklace to then cast these? I don't know how magic works.
I think the way it works. Oh well, no, neither do I really. Potions, but not beads. I don't use beads.
You do. It's actually a very similar process to how you brew potions.
I'm sorry. Where is the silly voice coming from? No, it's not.
Maybe
a
your
similar
memory's
pro-
failed
this
you.
This is no. It's a very, very extremely dedicated and difficult thing to brew potions, and chucking beads about is not the same thing. I was just talking nonsense.
Who are you talking to? Again.
Marsha,
Yeah,
you are arguing with yourself right now.
Silly voice in the sky. Yes.
Are you okay, Marche?
Not really, no. It's not the same thing at all. Yes, I believe what happened is that this bead was not really a bead at all, but a magical bead, and I believe it was probably thrown from the necklace. I believe it's something you wear for in times of battle or whatever, and I think one was thrown on purpose, possibly. I don't know how the necklace ended here, though, because the beads don't just explode on contact, as you can tell, because the necklace.
They do.
When they hit the floor, right?
When they hit the floor, but you have to make them do so.
Sure.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, I mean, what you know is what Marche is saying. I'm just telling you, Elaine, what Marche knows. And what Marche knows is that, basically you take out a bead, you chuck it, and it casts a spell of fireball,
Yes, but
and then it explodes the air.
Okay, this voice in the sky, but it's not. Sorry, who is Waterdeep here? You. You have to make it happen. If you have it in your knapsack, it would be a terrible fire hazard. If they just exploded on contact with everything.
Once again, who are you talking to?
Well, yes, yes. Anyway, sorry, carry on. So
Okay, so what?
and,
So the beads,
yes.
if they throw, then they explode.
They explode, indeed.
Well, again, I don't want to just simply blame things on the most obvious thing or the first thing we've come across, but it certainly looks like this is something that would have just been used here in this context, maybe by this person who ran away.
I still
I don't
don't
know how the
understand.
kid
go on.
got it
Sorry,
then.
Gina. Yeah. I don't understand who the person on the roof was. If
No.
someone exploded in the street and then someone ran away, and like Gina says, the child has picked up this necklace or get handed the necklace. Why would someone do that?
Why did he hear the plop?
Yeah, what the child told you, Gina, was specifically that he heard a plop, and then he went over to check out what it was, and then he
It was the
found this necklace
Okay, so
in the direction of where he heard the plop.
out of nowhere, or that's
Who knows?
yeah.
Yeah?
Perhaps it broke from the explosion.
The clasp.
The clasp, indeed,
Yeah.
yes, and then fell down. But didn't go
Wouldn't-
off on impact. Sorry.
Wouldn't the other beads then?
That's what I'm saying. They don't just explode willy-nilly. You have to make them explode. You have to cast.
Do you say
them.
fire?
Well, I mean, sure, if that's the magic word you want to use. You can say anything. You say knickers if you want to. It doesn't matter.
Knickers.
Indeed.
But this is
There's-
someone's, like, I want to say, like, sophisticated, fancy, magical, explosive apparatus then, right? This is a big deal. This is a medium-sized deal.
Yes.
There's a couple
Sounds
of
like
hours of this discussion that continues as you share information and try to deduce what happened and going back and forth. At some point, you try and take a pause and take a little rest and focus your mind on something else, but it's not really working because it's just all in your head right now. It's present, it's current, it's very there. The staff is equally perturbed, and they sit with you and also exchange ideas and share thoughts, but you don't seem to arrive at anything else that feels particularly groundbreaking or new. After a couple of hours of this, you do hear a knock on the door, and outside you see the aforementioned two men who are leading the investigation. Hello? May we come inside, please?
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
I
why
direct
not?
them to a table? Would you like a drink of any kind? We have a
Small
variety
snack.
of ales for sale.
Thank you very much. We are on the job right now, so we will not be partaking in any drinks.
Never stopped them before.
Whereas the other man says, I'll have a pint of the Alaska.
Is that Columbo?
Well, his name's not Columbo, but
We'll find out. It could be. We don't know that yet.
yeah. He mostly doesn't speak, though. The other one introduces himself. Hi, my name is Barnabas Blastwind, and this is my associate and companion, Seth Cromley. We are leading the charge in this investigation, and we will soon find out who is responsible for this dreadful event in Trollskull Alley. We have some reason to believe that the events that transpired are potentially tied to this tavern. But
No.
But first, we would like to ask you some questions. Sir, you have told me your name is Rogan Morbash and you are the proprietor of this tavern.
That is correct, yes.
How long have you been the proprietor here, please?
Oh, not very long. Over the last... How long's it been now? Kind of looks around like,
Not even
a short while.
Yes,
It's,
couple of weeks.
it's been a day.
A short while.
Since officially it's been opened,
Blimey.
it's a day. Yeah.
Since it's open, but we've had the lease for it for a while.
Yeah.
Had the lease
You quickly introduce your companions and your staff and everyone's names, and so exchanges are made, and the questioning seems to continue without any warning, and just Barnabas continues with directly going into it. Now, please tell me, have you had any dealings with any gnomes lately?
Gnomes? Like any particular gnome you've got in mind?
Please answer the question.
Gina, you're good at remembering things. Did we see a gnome?
in the sewers, maybe? Were those gnomes?
Is there a gnome that works in one of the shops?
Yes.
Oh, the chap with the paintings.
Yes.
Was he a gnome?
I think that would be a good idea.
Oh,
Like
blast.
we're all psychically communicating here, and we're all going to be thinking it'd be better to mention a normal gnome rather than a gnome we met in a dungeon whilst
That's a
on
good
some
point.
kind of rescue mission. So in his
didn't-
mind,
So you
you could-
didn't meet a gnome in the dungeon. You met a ashen-skinned dwarf. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we meet a gnome in the store?
The proprietor of the
The bent nail? Wasn't it?
No, the
the-
old Zoblob shop.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Zoblob.
Yeah, that's
Course.
so far the only gnome you've met in this adventure.
Cool.
Zoblob
Like,
is a gnome.
there you go. So I guess Marche would say Zoblov. There you go.
Describe this Zoblob to me, please.
short.
He loves purple.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Smells like lavender.
Okay.
Yeah, good smelling gnome.
Seemed to have a rather short temper.
I'm going to sort the dog out.
Whilst Elaine quickly goes and sorts out our dog, who's going completely mad right now, Barnabas continues his questioning. Now, please tell me more of the any kind of business dealings that you've had with anyone lately.
I mean, we've just opened our tavern, so there's been
Yeah.
lots of guilds that we've been dealing with, just getting set up for food and drink, and we've had all of the fixtures and fittings put in. So we've had dealings with many local businesses and guilds
Yeah,
of recent
also
time.
suppliers, carpenters, those sorts of people.
Can you make a deception check?
Sure.
Rogan, what are you doing? Why would you deceive anyone?
Don't know. Apparently, I'm not though, because I got a 4.
And continues writing things down. Now, is there any information that you would like to share with us? Is there anything that you have seen or feel is pertinent to this investigation?
Can I look around and see what the others are? They like ready to talk, or are they keeping their mouths shut?
I mean, Rogan was just going to focus on telling what he saw, which wasn't very much. So he was going to focus on his truth. So I suppose he doesn't look like he's been rattled by current surroundings. To Gina, at least, I would say.
I meant more like necklace-y wise.
Yeah, no, I think he kind of looks at you and he's just gonna. You can tell that he's just gonna say what he saw rather than anyone else's information.
Yeah, okay.
Be up to you whatever you wanted to do with it. That information.
So basically, you share everything that you've observed, right?
Yeah, Rogan would just be like, well, what I did is I went to check if everyone was okay. I could see there'd been a lot of injured, there'd been people who died, but apart from that, not really any injuries. And, other than that, I couldn't see anything further. And then, of course, you arrived and ushered me into the tavern where I've been ever since.
Okay. Any of the rest of you, did you see anything that seems pertinent to this investigation?
I think the blast was from like up a roof. I looked around the scene. I didn't touch anything, promise. But there was a blast that came, I think the blast originates from like a rooftop. Mm-hmm. And I brought a kid that was fairly shocked home.
Yes.
At this point, Seth just quietly, sort of, as he's writing things down as well, they both seem to be writing things down. Seth just, it says casually, nonchalantly, as if to himself, as you're talking, I'd like to remind that withholding any evidence or information carries a fine of 200 dragons to the city of Waterdeep.
There's nothing we haven't said, is there?
I'm not done talking. I explained how the kid got home, how he was in shock, how he maybe have mentioned something about an item he found. And I will hand the item over.
A necklace of fireballs. Barnabas seems to immediately know what it is. This is a definitely important piece of the puzzle. I shall pocket it away. He puts it into a pouch.
I have to be careful with it.
The reason why we not immediately handed it over is because I took the child home and then followed the directions to go back home immediately.
Indeed.
And I awaited your arrival to hand it over.
It's fine. I understand. This is a troubling time. Do not worry. You are not under any suspicion, or at least not yet. And
we are. You may not know, we are also part of Forced Grey. So we consider ourselves also protectors of the city.
Intimately familiar with every member of Forced Grey, and you are not on that list.
It takes a while to update the list.
Rogan, there's also, just FYI, you are part of the Grey Hands, which is sort of an under...
Grey Hands is what I said. That's why. Grey Hands.
Yes, the Grey Hands.
Make a mental note of that.
Noble servants of the city they are. Thank you very much. Then I suppose you report directly to Vajra Safar herself, the Blackstaff.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, we've met. Yes.
Well, in that case, I feel compelled to share a little bit more information with you. So strange this event has been so far. I've managed to deduce quite a few things. And I'm wondering if by sharing this with you, I will further this investigation. What do you think, Seth? Yeah, probably. Most likely. Okay, well... he peruses his notes and turns pages over. Yes, okay. The epicenter of this event seems to be this gnome, whose body we have discovered amongst the 11. We don't know his identity, but we do know that he was running away from armed pursuers, free. Namely, 2 of them are in that pile of dead bodies. The third one managed to run away. We don't know where to, but they have left Trollskull Alley. I am quite certain of that. And if they haven't, well, they are trapped, and we will find them.
Yes. Friendlings, apologies. I was away dealing with a rogue beast. I missed whether we established the gnome, whether he was in fact Zoblob or not.
I don't think so.
We don't know. Is the answer? Yes. Okay.
I don't think any one of us inspected the gnome, right?
No, none of you haven't. But from what you could tell, just by standing next to the bodies, there was certainly no one wearing purple.
Ah.
You would wear purple.
Yes.
Zoblop would have worn purple, definitely. I've also managed to determine that the gnome and his pursuers were headed directly to Morbash Manor, as it were. We don't know why, and that's why we came over to find out and investigate. And I could also tell that neither the gnome nor his pursuers were aware of this blast coming and were caught by surprise, as it were.
So you don't think that the gnome used the blast to rid themselves of their pursuers? You think it was a surprise to all of those in the alleyway?
Yes, I don't think the gnome is responsible for the blast, nor were the pursuers.
But there's a third party involved. We have the gnome, we have the pursuers, and someone who executed the blast.
Yes.
This is very peculiar.
Have you patrolled? Sorry,
Indeed,
go ahead,
no,
Marche.
we were going to ask the same question, I believe. Please go ahead, Gina.
Have you checked the roofs?
No, we have not investigated them yet.
That may be I don't mean to tell you how to do your joblet, but that may be the next step.
Well, thank you. We are quite capable of conducting this investigation. I ask that you remain indoors for now, and
Don't you need any help?
oh
You can help.
no, that would introduce too many new variables into an
Really?
already confounding equation. Just
We're
Barnabas.
very helpful.
Why do you believe they were headed here? There's many stores and shops and buildings in the location. What leads you to believe that they were headed here to Morbash Manor?
can you make a charisma persuasion check?
Give it a go. Whoops. Jeez, what's going on with my rolling today? That is hot charisma of 4.
Currently, I feel like I've already shared enough with you, and we shall leave it at that. Please, as I said, remain indoors until the City Watch has finished the cordon, and stay indoors. Thank you.
Is there any access to our roof?
I mean, you have like a turret and everything on top of Morbash Manor, so
There you are.
there you go. We can even see.
That's true, we do, yeah.
Yeah.
May I go and have a look at Rogan's room?
I mean, you're still currently being,
Well,
interviewed.
they said that they're done
Well,
with us.
they are done and they're leaving. And as they're leaving, Seth just turns back and says, "Oh, and one more thing."
Oh dear. That's exactly what Ross wanted.
That is
what everyone wanted.
If anyone's not familiar with Columbo, sorry to break the fourth wall, that is a classic Columbo move. When he's leaving, he does he goes just one more thing, and that's when he gets you. Carry on, sorry.
Just what are those silver pins you're all wearing?
There's a local charity that we donate to, and this is I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
Someone came door to door, and they gave us some pins for donating generously. We want to be known as an establishment that gives back to the community.
Well. How charitable of you. We will see you later.
Phew.
See you later.
When he asked that, could I check to see if were either of them wearing a pin?
Sure, make a perception check.
That's 10.
One of them's wearing a big clasp, and the other one's wearing a golden medallion. So, no, not pins per se.
Sure.
What was the vibe of how he asked the question, like inside-ish? Like, was he suspicious, or was he just like, oh, what a nice pin? Or why are you all wearing that? And
I don't know. Make an insight check. We'll find out.
sorry, I threw it completely off my desk. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Inside. Show me all my stuff. That's 14. Because I have
not
plus
bad.
a lot.
You're in the realm of maybe this is who knows what's in Sev's mind, but he's definitely very observant, and he might just be collecting information and know nothing about the Harpers, or he might know exactly who you are and he's just keeping it on the down low. Who knows? Who knows? But he's definitely inquiring because he noticed it. Right?
Yes, he definitely noticed it.
Okay.
Yes, well.
Have they now left?
They have now left.
Go to the turret thing.
Oh, yeah, no, please, may I check Rogan's room? I didn't hear an alarm, but I just want to see whether the crows are present.
Oh, the crows. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Crows.
Yeah, no, Rogan's room is fine. There are no crows.
Hurrah!
There's no sign that any, there's some, not just stuff strewn around the room a little bit,
Yeah, it's just Rogan.
But
It's a messy puppy, isn't he?
Don't judge Rogan.
No, it's not
We
tragic.
do.
We love Rogan for who he is.
But otherwise, the room is perfectly fine and intact. Your roof, Gina, seems to have no signs of any tampering or any kind of footprints, as it were, or any sign that anyone's been on top of your roof.
I wanted to check more, like look at the other roofs from that height.
Right. Right.
Smart.
Okay.
Is that to see like how someone would get on the roof?
Yeah, like more like how could people get on the roof? And I assume because we're a manor, we're higher than the most average roof in the street.
We've got a moderately tall building. We've got a couple of different floors, haven't we?
Yeah. You can definitely observe quite a bit of the alley from the turret, like all of the alley, right? And in fact, you see quite far into the northern side of Waterdeep, quite a lot of buildings and stuff like that. You can definitely observe the entire cordon, and you can also spot okay, first of all, for the roofs, give me a perception check.
You got this, Gina.
Perception. It's an unnatural 20.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
very
quite good. So you think there's probably quite a few avenues in terms of how a roof could be climbed. And because the buildings are quite close together, anyone who was on top of a roof could have, escaped via other rooftops and made a long way, outside of the alley, just by hopping roofs and, balconies, and especially if they were quite agile, which is a possibility. You also notice one of your neighbors, Vincent Trench, who have you met previously in his, fedora and coat. He's sort of also, and he's an investigator. He's told you that. He's also examining the rooftops, just from outside his balcony, and then he sees you, and then he sort of gives you like a, "We need to talk," right? Like a
That
kind
signal.
of that signal. Yeah. A little confused, but yeah.
Maybe put it away for now, Gina. We don't want to spook the poor chap.
But yeah,
Yes,
that's about it, really. That's all you notice.
I wonder if he's seen something.
I guess so.
I expect he has. And he's an investigator, so he will have remembered things that he's seen.
I will tell the others what I saw that my neighbor was doing, and I kind of want to see if I can sneak out and talk to him.
Are we allowed out? Did they say that we couldn't?
No.
Like the investigators were just like, we're done
Makes
here.
it more
Or they were like,
exciting.
No, they were done interviewing you. They're not done, right?
okay,
Yeah.
so we're still meant to stay within our.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Rogan.
But
will
I'm
be like,
small, and
Yeah.
It's true. You are small.
I am naturally stealthy because of
Rogan's like, sneaking's perhaps not my forte, so I'll keep my eye on out the turret window where you just were. If you wanna sneak.
Is his roof on the level of one of our floors?
Oh no, yours is on the level of one of your floors. Yeah, but there's it's not that would be a feat of jumping that.
Gina, I may be able to help you. I can give you a potion which, when smooshed, was a good word as any, smooshed onto something, it can emit a sound or a visual which may put them off, and you can sneak past them. Would that be helpful?
A distraction.
A distraction, indeed.
Maybe?
Because I don't think you're going to make the
I don't
jump.
know. Like, how long do we want to wait until this is solved? I mean, City Watches could take ages.
Indeed.
You also have some of your experimental potions, Marche.
Indeed. I can't find them on my character.
Scoop.
I can't find them on my character.
Scoop.
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 So, as an artificer, and as an alchemist, one of the things you've gotten is experimental potions.
Yes.
The results are random.
Yes.
However, one of the results might help you, and if you expend a spell slot, you can guarantee that result.
Yes.
Specifically,
If I could find them on this dashed character sheet, then I would do that.
I don't
will
enjoy
help
the
you
idea
out.
that there's a lot of randomness behind things that
No.
Marche is putting together. Obviously, in character, I don't know this.
It's not really random as such.
No, of course not.
No.
But
Because
Gina
I-
also, like,
Yeah, I was just going to say,
No,
Rogan,
go
to
ahead.
every confidence that Marche can create whatever concoction he needs to.
I'm certain I can do something if that's something you would like.
Marche, these are your options.
I don't like
what is-
thinking about
what-
how the sausage is made.
How does Gina want to approach the
There's
situation?
flight. I can make you fly.
Let's hope that
like a
works.
bird?
Zoom zoom. In
Am
the
I
sky.
in control of flying,
Indeed.
or will
Well,
I
of
just
course, no.
float?
No, you're in
off?
control.
Well, Gina, as Emma talking, doesn't, like, we've seen you collect the ooze and give it to Stephen. We've
Would you
seen
like
you.
to fly, Gina?
No, I would not like to.
Oh, all right.
Go on, Gina.
All right. suit
No,
yourself.
Eris, if you want to fly, be my guest.
I get sick when I fly.
Rogan?
Who are these people?
I feel like I'm perhaps maybe too heavy for this potion.
No, you'd look very elegant as a flying orc.
I believe you can fly.
I don't believe I can fly or touch the sky, so I will pass.
I believe you should at least try.
Every now and
I
then.
believe we should send this guy.
Do you believe you can touch the
I
sky?
I don't believe I'm particularly stealthy for this mission. I think maybe
But if
someone
you're
else.
flying, you're not touching anything. Just
Okay,
don't
folks,
scream.
I have a solution.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Gina?
Does someone have some paper and something to write on?
Oh,
Always.
We're gonna make a message for our neighbor. We're gonna throw it at his face, or get it to him, and
we-
we'll
like,
say,
could-
like, we're stuck in it. Like, come to us. Like, we cannot leave our home. Just jump up. We'll pull you up, or something along those lines. Like, how can we meet up that we don't need to go outside?
I think if we could throw a message to him, he could probably throw whatever information he's got back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
What like
Hello.
to make the symbols? He did
Yeah.
like, we need to talk. Just like,
Do we
okay, what do you
know-
want to talk about?
Does anyone
Do
know
you
sign
have-
language? Magical sign language communication.
Magical sign language.
Or we could use lights.
Or we could
Send it
just
to the
send a
signal.
pigeon. Or
I
Marche,
feel like
do you
Gina's-
want to fly?
Well, I was thinking perhaps I could make this piece of paper fly. I could
Then no, I don't try. Like,
try that.
So I'm guessing no one's choosing to leave the building then. No one
Wait,
wants to go.
One
to
of the
investigate.
options you can do, and I know you're not considering this because as players you're very proactive, is just to wait until the cordons over.
Oh, that's ridiculous. No, we
Yeah.
need like 2 cups and a piece of string.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, Rogan's just filling up his magical never drunk tankard to have like a drink to steady his nerves after the explosion.
It's smart.
He's kind of just looking at
Thinking
it
of-
like there's
of
something a bit
notes.
weird with these beers that he keeps drinking.
Yeah.
The actual sending a note is a really practical, simple, sensible solution. You just write something like, "Hello, do you have a crush on me? Tick here if you do," and then hope it doesn't get.
It's going to go the wrong
end up
way.
it's going to go to Zoblob shop.
Yes. It's
Maybe
go to
we
that
should just
guard
write.
that just popped in.
Yeah. Maybe we should just write. Let's wait out the investigation and then meet up.
Yes.
Otherwise, be my guest. Go fly or jump off roofs, but
Well,
not me.
Gina is showing her cowardly side now.
So what I
Wow.
can do, in fact, is
Some voice in the sky called me a coward. I will not take that.
Sorry, I'm just goading you deliberately.
Gina's
we
been
can
sensible.
throw a stone that will speak to him with 25 words.
Wow.
25 words. I can smoosh the potion on the stone, and we can throw the stone. Someone can throw the stone, not me. I can't throw a stone to save my life, but someone could throw a stone, and then it will speak to him with the 25 words. How about that? That's less dangerous, no?
That's
What
not
if
a
we
bad
hit
idea.
him in the face with the rock?
Well,
We won't.
that's
We won't.
your fault,
Why?
not mine.
Why is the message always being thrown at their face, Gina? Just out of curiosity.
We need to cover some distance.
Gina, don't accidentally throw your
Is
sword.
that what you're doing? Are you?
No.
No, okay.
What are you doing then?
Rogan's drinking an ale
Okay.
from a bar.
As the GM, I'm going to assume that you've been basically doing this for the next 5 hours.
5 hours? No. Gina wouldn't take 5 hours.
It sounds like it. It sounds like
It sounds
you're
like
trying
it
to.
might.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
If no one makes a decision, then it certainly will.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've now established the dynamic here is we can go into a dungeon or a sewer or something. We can fight monsters very capably. We cannot solve the
A
message
piece
of
of
how
paper,
to
yes.
whisper to a neighbor.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
not our skill set.
No, there's a lot of differing opinions how this should be approached, and a lot of obsessiveness about the details and disagreement about the details, and it just continues for a while until you realize that
obsessive?
the sun has started to go down, upon which the city watch effectively packs up and leaves.
Phew.
And after that, there's a knock on the tavern door. You're not quite open today because businesses just aren't open today in this area.
In respect.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you see Vincent Trench just stand in a shadow. There isn't really anywhere a shadow would be coming from, but he's in a shadow.
He brought his own shadow.
Brought his own shadow.
Hey, Vincent, you should come in.
Hello.
Hi.
What?
Hi. Wow.
Hi.
I
Hi.
have some information for you.
Would you like some strepsils? You sound a little. Well, I'll
I'm
make
okay.
some tea.
Rogan must have some, no?
I'll make
I
some
am
tea.
fine for strepsils.
Rogan definitely doesn't have any. We know that.
He
I'll boil
almost
some water.
he almost purrs as he sort of
Yes.
growls.
Goodness.
I've been noticing that you're conducting an investigation of your own. As a trained private eye, I have an eye for these things. Now, enough of the jokes. Let's get towards serious business. I have some information that could help you. I had a client
Okay.
who was visiting me just at the time of the explosion. I don't believe she has anything to do with it because she was just, trying to hire me to watch her husband because he's apparently laundering money or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's nothing to do with anything. But she was leaving just as the explosion happened, and she ran back inside to hide immediately. She got scared. And then She said she saw a thing on one of the rooftops, and I specifically say a thing because I do not believe it was a person. The description was almost of a puppet, but without any strings. Just articulated arms and legs moving in not quite fluid motions.
That's technically a Muppet, if there's no strings.
I saw. She saw this puppet hurl something into the crowd, and then it leapt and ran as those tiny halflings were burnt alive.
Oh, how did it run?
Which way did it run? More importantly.
Sure. Well,
Sadly-
I feel like my question was very important too, Gina.
That's not something that my client noticed, but I will say that it strikes a bell, doesn't it? We all know what we're talking about here.
No, do we?
Well, actually,
Yes?
out of everyone in this group, you would be the one person who recognizes the description of this puppet. In fact, it matches the description of these sort of automatons that are used in a yearly festival in Waterdeep.
I've been away.
I mean, you have. You lived here for a long time. Yeah. You don't need to argue everything with the DM.
Let your memories come back to you, Marche.
Yes,
let the memories
been a
come back to you.
while.
Don't repress those memories of the automatons.
I love an automaton.
So you would remember.
Yes, they're automatons.
Yeah. So there's a Day of Wonders parade,
There's a Day of Wonders parade.
and it happens in the fall season.
It happens in the autumn season. I'm translating.
Good,
Which
thank you.
is
Translating
clearly
from
not
your
now.
own- From your own mind.
Something that I missed.
Which is clearly not now, I say,
Clearly
because
not
it's
now.
summer.
Because it's summer.
And this Day of Wonders parade
It's a Day of Wonders parade.
is normally sponsored by the local temple of Gond.
And this Day of Wonders parade is normally sponsored by the local temple of God. Rest.
Days of Wonders parade, right?
Yes.
Yes, Day of
Automatons.
Wonders. Not Days of Wonders, not the board game publisher. Day of Wonders.
Was this
It's
this thing?
close.
Was it cloaked? Did it look cloaked, like it was wearing a cloak?
No, not by the description.
No.
This automaton did it seem to appear from a rooftop, or was it running along in the street? You said it your friend told you it threw something from in a crowd towards them. So was
Yeah, it was on
already-
the rooftop. Did I forgot to mention that?
Yes.
No, I
It's
think
quite
you mentioned
important.
it.
No, it's just Rogan clarifying. No, it's fine. It's fine. And then leapt and ran away.
And then leapt and ran away.
And it ran away in a kind of Muppet kind of way, the way that Muppets do, like with a mouth wide open.
You're just saying puppet twice. I don't understand. What's a Muppet?
Different to. I feel it's only fair that I share what I heard, or there was witnesses saying that a cloaked figure, injured, seemed to escape the blast area and run.
Is this some sort of a dialect thing from Baldur's Gate? Because in Waterdeep, a Muppet is an idiot. Are you saying I'm an idiot?
No?
No, I mean
Yeah, I mean, he's
I am
right.
Southern. I mean, they do lean. It's different. It's a different constituency. The dialect is different. They do vote a bit more conservative. It's a little different down there. It's fine. I don't know. So wait. So hold on. Let's back up. These people this crowd of people came into the neighborhood and were possibly trying to run away from someone else, and then were blown up by another person, and then another group another person ran away who wasn't the person trying to blow the. Like, there's. Am I meshing the cogs here?
The
It feels
person
like
on
there
the
are-
rooftop threw something explosive at other people. They blew up and then ran away.
Yes.
There was
It
one
feels like
person.
And one person who didn't die in the explosion and also ran away.
Yes.
So there's two people that ran away. One was a puppet, automatron, and the other was the cloaked figure, which went past a bent nail and was limping.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct? Yes.
Yes, that would be the summation of the things you've discovered.
But we don't think he was something to do with the blast.
The
limper.
blast could have been aimed at the gnome or the
Yes.
people that were like there could be two parties after the gnome.
Yeah, so Barnabas did tell you that in his opinion that one of the people who got away was chasing after the gnome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so there could be two parties after the gnome. The party which hired or performed the magic to automatron rule fireball the gnome, and accidentally or coincidentally there was also these hooded figures running after the gnome. Maybe the gnome was looking for us because that's what Barnabas said. Like he was coming our way.
He was quite convinced that
Why?
the gnome was looking for you. Yeah.
Vincent, why do you believe these individuals may have been chasing this gnome or trying to assassinate them?
I have no idea. I'm gonna go. I shared with you everything that I could.
No, you should have this tea. It's ready now. I brewed it. It's ready for you to. It'll be good for your
He sniffs it.
It's got ginger and mint.
Ooh.
I'll take it.
It's making my throat seize up. It's incredibly unpleasant. Please take this away from me.
Well, keep your horrid sounding voice then, your sore throat, if you want to.
Vincent leaves.
So this is a lot of different moving parts.
Oh, before he leaves, he also just leaves his card, by the way. If you want me to perform some more of my investigating magic on this case.
Investigating
card.
magic.
Vincent, wait. Which way did the automatron run?
He did. He already told you. He didn't know.
Oh, okay. I missed it. Sorry. Bye.
Toodaloo.
This is
Toodaloo.
strange, though.
Well,
This is a
that's
lot of different things.
many parts of the Puzzlington that we have to fit together as investigators.
Yeah.
Everybody's still out there.
So
Could we-
the bodies? No, they've been long taken away. From your knowledge of Waterdeep, Marche,
Yes.
they would have probably been taken away to the morgue.
I imagine, yes. That's where they normally take people who have sadly passed on.
Would it be
Also, give me an Arcana check.
Me.
Yes.
14. 13. I can't read. 13.
Okay. So your cursory knowledge, you're familiar with magic,
Yes,
and
indeed.
you would know that just because someone's died,
Yes.
it isn't entirely
Doesn't
impossible.
mean it's the end.
Isn't entirely possible to not have a conversation with them. That's not something you're able to perform, but a cleric could.
Oh. Oh.
Smarshy,
I would-
know
uh,
any
Ro-
clerics?
Do you know any clerics? Does anyone know any clerics?
None of you know any clerics.
Ah,
Rogan
last.
Rogan was thinking, as we
Also, just as a part of a sorry, Ross, didn't mean to interrupt you, but
That's all right.
before we continue, I think it's important to know because it's sort of the way I'm framing the adventure. That one of the things that I haven't actually quite told you is that whilst you're all painfully aware that you are part of some organizations, one of the things mechanically that you have is renown in those organizations. And so because you've performed certain tasks, you have accrued an amount of renown with those organizations. And if you ever feel like, because you're performing jobs for them, but equally, if you feel like there's anything those organizations could do for you, you can try and call on them.
So Rogan was thinking that Valdra might have an idea who this individual was and why they were heading towards us. As the High Mage, there's magic involved and all those kinds of things. Rogan would be
think that's a smart person that we could reach out to. Certainly.
Yes. Good call, Rogan.
maybe it seems like there's a lot of things that we don't know here. We don't know why this individual was heading towards Morbash Manor. We don't know who was trying to assassinate them. But we do know that it was something to do with us. And I feel like we should investigate this further.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you might be right.
Whilst you were with Blackstaff and when you were getting anointed to be part of the Grey Hands, one way you were instructed to communicate back is via the means of sending, which is a spell which you've been given a scroll of, right? Two, in fact, let's say, right? So you have a couple of scrolls of sending. If you ever need to contact Blackstaff, then that would be one of the ways to do it. So
Who has that?
well, probably you.
One of us.
Yeah, or
Probably
Gina.
Gina.
Yeah.
Gina's the one that's organized and has everything in hand. She's wonderful. Keeping tabs on things. She keeps all her money and everything. It's just super. Doesn't steal any of it for herself, and just.
Shall we reach out to Blackstaff maybe then?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the ways, the way sending works is that you can, again, similar to Marche's Stone, you can send a short message of 25 words or less.
Oh, nobody wanted my stone earlier.
But with Stone, you have to throw. Sending, you can just cast, and a creature you're familiar with will eventually hear the message in their mind and will know that it's you, and can answer immediately or maybe not. It's up to them.
Do we want to mention the automatron? Do we want to tell them everything?
I think we've got nothing to lose by telling them everything, as many people already know this information, and it would help us certainly if they knew.
It's probably like, I don't know if it's the talk of the town, but it's definitely going to be the talk of the neighborhood.
Yes.
Definitely. Maybe even the city. Yeah, it could be the talk of the city.
I mean, it's a
actually.
pretty big thing.
We've certainly nothing to gain from keeping it a secret from them, I don't think.
I mean, it's not giant statues appearing and demolishing the city and then going completely inert for years and years and years. But it is an event,
Yeah.
Yes. Other people might be perturbed.
Seen something as well. Mr. Observer, Monk.
Oh, Man on the Hill, yeah, true.
Man on the Hill.
That's actually a very good point.
Oh, with his the spyglass.
Binoculars,
binoculars.
or
Yes,
spyglass.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's particularly interested in speaking to us, but we could send him a scroll if you wanted to, or we could save it and maybe see what Blackstaff says
mention
first.
like to Vardraf, tell her about the explosion, about what we think is going on with the two parties going after the gnome, who the City Watch thinks was going at towards us. Mention the automatron, that kind of stuff, and that we really want to there was a necklace with fire beads. I think that's also important to mention.
Much. And that one was missing.
Yeah, because that's probably the one that they used.
Yes.
So there's So I think that maybe
25 words.
Yes, it's probably 25 words, no?
No, I was just listing the things we want to use.
Fireball.
Could you say we really need to speak to them?
Necklace. That's 2.
Trying to arrange
Explosion, automatron,
3, 4,
gnome,
5,
being chased.
7.
Meet us at Morbash Manor.
Meet us at.
Need to talk.
Is Morbash one word or 2? Morbash.
Surely it's one.
Morbash is
Morbash.
one.
Pretty sure it counts as one.
Man.
Yes.
Morbash Manor.
Okay.
Is there a
I've
way we
lost
can make
count.
Morbash Manor like a compound word, like a German word?
Oh yeah.
We'll
And then we
discuss
get an
this.
extra word
maybe,
in there.
Maybe we send a note and
We
then
can
we'll
do it
discuss
without
while
that.
waiting.
Yeah, there's enough room for both words to be two words rather than one word.
I'm just being efficient. Should we
You-
put stop at the end of each line like a
Oh,
telegram?
like a yes, like a telegram.
You eventually sent the message.
Yeah.
Some time has passed.
Okay.
As
Not
we
5
all
hours,
know.
hopefully.
No, just
Okay.
1.5, but
Oh, dear.
eventually agreed on what the message is going to be and how many stops exactly are going to be in it. You
Do
receive
we
a
have
response.
to pay by the word?
Huh?
Do we have to pay by the word?
It's one scroll, right?
No. Okay.
You receive a response immediately, which says, "I will not be coming to Morbash Manor. Please come see me at Blackstaff Tower tomorrow at noon."
Sure, we
Fine.
could do that, I guess. Why doesn't she want to come to Morbash Manor?
P.S.
Lazy.
Have another job.
Does she mean
Okay.
she has another job for us, or get another
Me-
job?
It means she's working many jobs and she's a busy lady. No, I believe it means she's got a
maybe.
job for us, I think.
There's a third.
I hope
How
so.
confusing.
Rather, she's like, she maybe works at the tavern at night. She doesn't have time to come round. Maybe that's what
Its
she
magic doesn't earn very much money, unfortunately, and
You
you
gotta-
do need a side gig.
does bar work in the evening. That's
Yeah.
sad.
said.
Maybe
She delivers pastries on the side.
Ooh.
She's
Perhaps
got
we
a really
should
good
take her a
Etsy
gift.
page as well.
So I think we should
bring
go
her
and
something.
go and see them tomorrow. I think that would be a good idea.
Yes.
In the
Perhaps.
meantime, should we just open up for business and try and do a day's worth of trading?
a day's
I
worth,
believe-
I think. Evening.
No,
is
no,
free.
no one's
everything's
open
closed.
today. Yeah.
Yes,
No, would be a bad show.
The explosion and all of the death may have put people off the local area.
Ugh.
Yes.
Did we help clean up is the area
You
cleaned up?
can can
Can we help
absolutely
clean
go
up?
and help clean up. Yes, and we'll say that you spend the rest of the evening doing that. There's a real community feeling starting to come round. Everyone's sort of shaken out of the shock, and then you see people you've talked to today. You see Fala. They fixed their
sign?
glass house windows. Yes.
Greenhouse thing, yeah.
Greenhouse.
okay.
There we go. Thank you. They fixed the greenhouse, and you also see Vincent Trench, who you've just seen. He's also helping clean up, and you see Tally, and
No. It's lovely.
everyone's sort of there, and everyone's helping clean up, and
Can I play a tune to
Aww.
like not a too cheery tune, but like a tune of like a communal feeling of
Perhaps like a
sadness,
shanty.
but we're still together and
That's
shanty.
lovely. That's lovely.
That's really nice.
Eugene
And
is just
can you
wonderful.
make a performance check for me,
Of
please?
course I can. Okay, that's not great, but 16.
Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, no, you
That is
lift
pretty
everyone's spirits, and I think everyone really appreciates that. There's not a moment of like hesitation. It seems that you've hit the right note. Pardon
Yeah.
the pun. And
Appropriate.
I'm so sorry.
That's
it's great.
literal.
Well, yeah, it
literal.
is, it
it's
is,
not
yeah.
a pun.
Yeah,
It's literal.
literal.
She
It is.
hit the right note with her hand or whatever.
Anywho, my point is, please gain a point of inspiration for I think that's very a very nice way to adapt your character to the current situation.
This voice in the sky is quite a fool.
Wow. I see. When I give out things, then I'm cool. And at other times, I'm just a voice in the sky.
The GM giveth, the GM taketh away.
Now, I know that planning hasn't been your strongest suit this session so far in terms of deciding what to do. But I'd like to hear a plan from you. What do you think your next steps are going to be come tomorrow?
I really would like to take a gift to Vardra. If possible, please.
What kind of gift?
Perhaps, Eris, you could bake us a cake. Or
Yep.
Gina?
Yep. No, I can bake a cake. I know how to
Super.
bake a cake. I could start baking a cake right now. That's a medicine check. That's a
famed
nature
cake
check.
baker.
That's a performance check.
Who are we
Wow.
bringing a gift to? I was trying to look for inspiration on
Apparently,
the,
we're giving the high mage a cake for some reason.
Why?
I've got an 18 on a make a cake check.
Okay.
That's got to be like.
I mean, it's pretty good cake.
pretty
It's
good.
gonna be a damn good cake.
It has sparklers and it says magic on it.
I think the plan should, like, I throw in the group, like, we go to Blackstaff and see what she says.
And bring the necklace.
Share all-
No,
You don't
because
have the
the
necklace.
necklace is
Give
now
it
in,
away.
like, I gave it to
Oh, yes.
City Watch.
I, of course, meant Blackstaff, not Vardra.
That's the same.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
good.
it's
good.
the tower. It's
Yes,
the tower
that's
she
what I
lives.
meant. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I got the name wrong. Sorry, apologies.
Do we want to leave at least someone in the manor just in case?
You have staff. They can
Some-
work tomorrow. It's
Yeah,
fine.
okay, true.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I think it would be a good idea to go with all of the things that we require, but also they talked about having another mission for us, like have another job.
Yeah.
So maybe if there's any supplies we want, if anyone wanted anything, I don't know if anyone does, but before we headed out, that might be useful as well.
That's
to,
prudent, actually, to think about if we
To
do
get-
need anything.
to get ready before.
Particularly if
we
there
head
might be something that might help Marche
Mhm.
create
Yes.
interesting concoctions, which feels like potentially infinitely useful if we can
out. Yeah,
send
just the-
messages and make
Just
people
the
fly in.
herbalist maybe has some supplies that would be useful for Marche.
I'm sure the herbalist always has good supplies.
Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that today. I think because we reached sort of natural conclusion, and then we're gonna pick up the investigation and the happenings of what the hell just happened in next week on Saturday
We're very good at the decision making.
or Monday
Very.
if you're watching
Very,
on YouTube.
Very. That was super fun. Thank you, everybody. Do I
Thank
get
you,
my
Marche.
dragons now for doing this, for the guest appearance?
Yes, there will be dragons.
Super. Super.
Oh, it's just like I was like, hey Marche, could you do me this favor? Like, yeah, sure. Am I getting paid?
That's not how it went.
Well,
Thank
you
you,
get
everyone.
exposure.
Thank you everyone for watching.
People die from exposure. I don't want exposure.
Oh dear, it's happening again, isn't it?
Don't
Yeah.
let FK end the stream. Let's keep this going. Let's keep talking.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you've been watching on YouTube, then the next episode will be live next Monday. If you're watching on Twitch, then the next episode will be live on Saturday, 8 p.m. UK time. And I think that's it for this week. I don't think I have anything else to say. So thanks everyone.
Thanks,
And
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Poodles.
Bye.
Poodles.